Yo, what is going on with your GBA type people? It's Sock here with another week for the GBA Pick'em crew. It is week 10. It is the last week of the regular season, and playoffs are upon us. And I am not alone.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm Guardian of the God, and we are excited to bring you the final week of the regular season of GBA Season 9.
It is going to be awesome. I am very excited because there are 4 games that determine the playoffs. Normally there's only 1 or 2, but half of the games literally determine who gets in and who gets out. There's only 5 of, I think it's 10 total playoffs? No. 8 total playoff spots?
8 total playoff spots.
So 5 of 8 total playoff spots are decided. There's 3 spots up for this in the last week of the season.
Yep.
As you can tell, I'm kind of hyped for it.
So, I'm just going to go over the teams real quick that are clinched.
Please do.
So, currently, at this moment in time, Leo and his Durham Drudgons, MV and the San Diego Chim Chargers, Lars and the Borussia Dawn fans, Jolt and the KC Giraffe Chiefs. Let's see here, we got Randy and the Houston Team Rockets. All of those teams are clinched, with Jolt and Randy being the winners of their division. They've clinched their division, while Leo, MV, and Lars are all in the same division, so that's kind of a stacked division there. But they all 3 clinched on top of Jolt and Randy. The teams that are currently eliminated, they have no chances of making playoffs whatsoever, is Kyle A and the Miami Dawn fans. He's been eliminated as of week 7. Nexus and the Pittsburgh Pichus have been eliminated since week 8, as well as Necro Stevo and the Victorian Shadows. Unfortunately, our good boy GoldOlaf and his Empoleon were eliminated, on top of Deathly I Am has been eliminated, and Tom Z has also been eliminated.
However, that does not mean that their games do not matter. A couple of these coaches who are eliminated have chance to play spoiler and to keep coaches out. So, all of these games have ways to shuffle around who plays who. So it's going to be a lot of differential saving and using on this. So
yeah,
it's going to be a fun week to watch.
It's going to be really, really weird. Before we go into the week real quick, there are currently, as of week 9, at the end of week 9, 3 teams that are 5 and 4. Danza and the Needle Kings are 5 and 4 minus 1. Cybertron Zhang is 5 and 4 minus 3, and Tup is 5 and 4 minus 5. So there are certain situations where even if one of those 5 and 4 teams loses, if the other 5 and 4 teams lose with worse differential, then there's a chance that certain teams can get in, because differential is hard.
Yeah. So for example, since Tup is minus 5 and Aaron Cybertron Zhang is minus 3. If Cybertron loses 6-0 to say, he goes to -9 at 5 and 5. If Tup only loses 1-0, he goes to 5 and 5 minus 6. So he would technically have the better record and would advance the playoffs.
Well, he would also have to have Danza get worse than 6, and because he's at -1.
Yeah, so you'd have to get 5 or 6-0.
Yeah. So Tup needs some help.
It could happen. Danza could lose. Danza has a tough matchup.
Danza have a very tough matchup. We'll get there, in a few games.
Reeling it back, though, let's go to Week 9's Pick'ems and take a look at the oddities that we had.
So
Tup, you shot yourself in the foot. This would have been an easy week to win this, and I think if he won, he would have clinched a playoff spot.
I want to say yes.
Yeah, if he would have won that game, he would have clinched a playoff spot, and I am rooting for Tup.
Yep.
I am on the Tup hype train, on the Tup board, everything like that. I want him to get to playoffs, and I want to see the Pittsburgh Predators make a deep run.
Before we jump too deep into these results, I saw some comments on our video last week, Sock, and I just want everybody to know that Melon had his picks randomized, and he is just that lucky.
Yes.
On some games. Other games, he wasn't so lucky. Because he still finished, 2 and 6?
2 and 6. He got 2 games right that no one else did.
Yeah, that was actually kind of funny.
So yeah, note to anyone who wants to become an analyst, if we ping you to make your picks. Otherwise, we'll have fun with them and randomize it. And we make a sporting event out of it.
We kind of do.
It is so much fun to do.
So.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So yeah, some of the things that really impacted last week: Lars and his Borussia Donphan dropping to Envy and his Chim Chargers. The New York Empoleon losing to the New York Neubats kind of stunk. I'm a big fan of GoldOlaf. Don't let anyone else know.
GoldOlaf's a good boy.
No one else. I love GoldOlaf. Jolt and his Kansas City Draw Chiefs kind of rolled through. Mama Jolt's in full swing, and it's kind of scary. There is something we do need to discuss, though, which is the Pittsburgh Peaches versus the Victorian Shadows. This game was not played and was issued a double forfeit, which is considered a loss for both teams, and -3 differential for both teams. So because of this, I believe it eliminated Necro.
It eliminated both of them, yes.
Yeah, it confirmed eliminated both of them from playoff contention. So get your games done, guys. You may think, oh, these GBA guys have lives. Yes, they do, and they weren't able to get the game in. So just something I wanted to throw out there. Danza, timer stalling. I called it. Called it.
You know,
called it.
I don't know why I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed.
It's like the classic dad statement. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Speaking of dads, this might be going up on Sunday, so happy Father's Day to all of you dads out there.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there. Have a good day. Crack open a fresh water from the Poke Center. Have a nice day.
Yes, except water.
Yeah, water.
No water. I want something else.
Family-friendly channels.
Yes. Dr. Pepper.
Anyway, getting into Week 10 here. Let's start right off. The first game that we're covering is one of the 4 games that matters for differential for the 4 teams that we mentioned. So the first one is the Miami Donphans versus the New York Neubats. Now, going into this matchup, really interesting.
First off, Nate needs to win this game to keep his playoff hopes alive. If he wins and Tup loses, I do believe that means that Nate will get in the...
Yes.
I haven't looked into the whole depth of the things, but I'm pretty sure if Nate wins and Tup loses, Nate gets the spot from the division.
If Nate wins, Tup loses, Nate clinches. Okay. However, if Nate loses at all, he gets out. If Tup wins, he's out. Tup has to lose, and Nate has to win to get in.
I love playoffs.
So, playoffs are so much fun.
I also love this matchup. I really do.
Yes. It's so cool. Like, it's really, really fun.
So, you want to go over yours first?
So, my favorite thing about this matchup is Zekrom. I love what Zekrom can do in this game if it's Scarfed. Because Scarf with Dual Stab in Fairy and Electric and maybe something like Ironhead to catch the Terrakion, to catch the Sylveon. It also can catch something like the Galvantula for neutral damage. It could be really, really devastating.
It really can. And I'm looking at Nate's team, and he doesn't really appreciate it outside of Seismitoad.
That's the only thing. I think Hidden Power Grass comes on Zekrom. I don't know if it gets Grass Knot, Energy Ball, Giga Drain, anything like that.
I couldn't tell you. It's been a while since I've used a Zekrom on the ladder or in League.
Never.
But I like Kyle in this game. I am picking Kyle this week because I do like the Zekrom. I like the Greninja. I think between the two of them, they just kind of poop all over Nate's team.
Now, that is there and all. However, I don't see a reliable Mega Gyarados switch in on Kyle's team because Dual Stab destroys this man.
Yeah, it's going to hit him pretty hard.
Yeah, if Mega Gyarados gets a +1/+1 and he doesn't have a Scarfer left, it's over. Mega Gyarados just straight wins with Dual Stab and something like Rock Throw to crush the bugs.
Let's not forget about Persian. Persian's got that Fur Coat ability. Something that...
True, that could play. However, that does also weaken it to fire moves. I do believe like Fluffy does, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think so. I think it's just Fluffy.
Okay, whatever.
I just know it boosts your defense.
Anyway. Yeah, it does boost your defense, so that could be something to watch out for. So we could see something like, I think it gets Focus Blast, if I'm not mistaken.
It gets a bunch of things. A bunch of weird
It's a Gen
moves.
1 water type that gets stupid amounts of coverage. But yeah, also, Sylveon's a great answer in this game. helps check Zekrom if it's not carrying Iron Head. If it's Berry Berry, it can just eat the Berry Berry. Boom, it's not a threat anymore, and you just hyper voice that thing into oblivion. Along with a Zygarde and Greninja, because it's going to try to go for Gunk Shot. You can click Psychic on it. You can click some other stuff against it, but Sylveon does a lot of work this game as well, so that's something to be careful of.
I'm still picking Kyle. I like his matchup very, very much in this game.
Understandably. It's going to be a good game either way. The next game we have here is a little bit more lopsided. We have the San Diego Chimchargers versus the Tennessee Trubbish. Now, we have Envy versus Deathly.
Well,
I'll have you start this one also.
Okay, so I am going to point out that Deathly does have 2 wins now. He's he's just trying to finish the season off. He wants to end the season off on a good note. I'm sure it's going to be a good game, but Envy's team is just really, really good. Like, Kieran White kind of poses an issue for Envy, but something like a Rock Polish Mega DNC kind of just, kills Kieran White dead. Something like AV Muck, stuff like that. Bronzong doesn't necessarily care too much, especially like a heat-proof set. But I'm gonna go with Envy just because I like his Ubers compared to Deathly's in the game as a whole.
Yeah, Envy's Ubers kind of tear apart Deathly's. Like, Giratina Origin loves to take on Gothitelle, and Lugia does not care about Kieran White because of the multi-scale. Mega Dancy also
doesn't care about it for that first turn.
Yeah, for the first turn, and then it mollywops it because it's Ice type and has no defensive bulk whatsoever.
Kieran White's... Okay, so I know last week I said Kieran White was not a good Pokemon. It's an okay Pokemon, just not in this game.
Yeah, this game it's not great.
Envy has ways around it.
Something that, Envy literally can bring. He has a lot of ways around it actually. Umbreon's a really good answer. Bronzong's a great answer. Alolan Muck with this Assault Vest is a great answer as well. Just needs to be careful of Earth Power on the first one, and actually Bronzong too because of the pressure, Turbo Blaze, whatever ability it has. It's literally Mold Breaker. Yeah, it's really, really good. However, Envy, Mega Diancie, I can't see it not winning this game, honestly.
Well,
because the only thing that stops it is Mega Aggron, and Kellio just kind of laughs in its face.
I was going to say, and Dugtrio can trap it, beat it down. Dugtrio can actually trap a lot of Pokemon that
Dugtrio's good
might give Envy some issues, like Kyurem. It can trap Aggron, it can trap Hoopa. It looks pretty good in this game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks really solid. But yeah, this is my personal lock, I do believe. Yes, it is. I have the memory of a squirrel. Don't mind me.
Yep. I don't know why he picked squirrel over Pokemon, or animals, Pokemon, whatever.
Squirrel has a short attention span. But either way, I digress. Let's digress into our actual next game, which is the Durham Dragons versus the Pittsburgh Piratas. Out of all the people Tup could have played to win to clinch playoffs, it had to be the Burrito Gang himself.
One of the top teams all season. My boy Leo, hashtag Burrito Gang. You guys might see on Twitter, me and him go back and forth, talking a bunch of crap, a bunch of burrito stuff. But no means, Leo has had one of the best teams all season. I think he's only lost one game. So yes, it's very, very unfortunate for Tup that he got paired with Leo in Week 10 in a game that he needs to win. However,
it's not impossible for Tup to win.
It's
this game.
not.
There are quite a few ways. I do believe in Tup. However, Pick'em's results and current play, Tup has not been playing at the top of his game, and Leo's just been dominating. So in Pick'em's, I'm picking Leo. In my heart, I think Tup has this just because Shaman Sky does such a good amount of work in this game. Because you look at Seed Flare, you look at Air Slash. Those are only 2 moves that he needs to use, and it can run through a lot of his team. Something like Hidden Power Ice can hit Thundurus and Garchomp, allowing him to also hit Nidoking as well. The rest of his moves, he can just kind of spam through. He just does need to be careful of something like any Scarfers that may be around. Maybe like a Scarf Nidoking, for example.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to side with Sock here. In my heart, I really, really want to pick Tup. I really do. I would love to see Tup in the playoffs. I honestly don't think of a player that has deserved more in terms of playoffs, just based off the sheer improvement that he has had since last season.
Absolutely, he's been stellar, and he has shown that he is not giving up until the bell is rung and he has to walk back.
Yep.
He has the heart of a winner, and I think he can take this game. Another thing that he needs to be wary of is maybe like a Spadef Mega Scizor could be really good for Tup.
Yeah.
Because the one thing though that can put Leo ahead, Marshadow.
Marshadow looks really, really good. I expect something like a Fire EMZ Garchomp to beat the Mega Scizor, because outside of that, Leo doesn't like Mega Scizor. Like, he can handle it. It's just really, really annoying, especially if it has like Roost.
If I believe Nidoking can naturally outspeed it, but Nidoking does not have a great matchup this game. Looking at it,
really
it'd have to be Scarf, and so if it's already scarfed into Ice Beam, he can Mega Scizor can freely come on in and chunk it with something like a Bullet Punch.
Yep. So I'm gonna go with Leo this week, even though I really, really want to pick Tup.
Yeah, this was a toss-up. This is my personal game of the week, even though it's this is one that matters to me.
Yep.
And I think it's the game of the week because of the crazy amount of things that could happen in this game. I am very much excited to watch this game tomorrow. And happy Father's Day, Tup.
Yes.
All right, moving into our fourth game of the week, we have the Borussia Donphan versus the New York Empoleon. So,
let's see.
Lars, a.k.a. El Scizor, versus Goldoa Dragon.
Goldoa Dragon versus Lars. Again, this is kind of one of those, kind of like the last matchup where I want to pick my friend, but I really, really just can't.
We need the pick'em points.
Yeah, that. I mean, I'm in dead last, and Lars.
And I'm trying to stay ahead of him.
Lars is another coach that has been playing exceptionally well this season. I do like Reshiram, however, for Goldoa, but Azu can kind of do work. The only thing that stops an Azu sweep is Ditto.
Yeah, you're not wrong in that.
I mean,
Azumarill, looking at it even more now, holy cow, Azumarill just kind of poops on this team.
Azu just kind of does some big time work.
Some other things that do work is actually Salazzle. Like, looking at the team, like Dual Stab, HP Ice, Nasty Plot Salazzle, or like even a Scarf Salazzle with like Hidden Power Ice, dual coverage, and like Dragon Pulse or something like that. Can do a lot of work.
Yep, that's definitely another thing. I just know that Ditto looks really good here.
Yeah, Ditto does do a lot
for
of work
Goldoa.
Here. Something that Lars will need to be careful for outside of the Ditto is a Necrozma, because looking at it, Mandibuzz being his only dark type, if I'm correct.
Yep.
It's going to be very whittled down by a certain Tapu Lele.
Yeah, it's going to get blown back by Tapu Lele is what's going to happen.
Yeah, next dimension.
I do think that Lars pulls away with this. I don't think he does it easily.
I think this comes down to like a 2-0 win. I can see Azumarill coming in late game, cleaning up. I do see Salazzle putting in a good amount of work. I think Jirachi is underrated in this game. It can do some work as a Spadef Fairy and Upcheck Superior with like an Aqua Berry. Yeah. That could be something we could see. Kyurem Black is a Kyurem Black. It'll do well. And then Mega Lucario is also just standing there, which we haven't talked about at all.
No, and we'll talk about that when we get to Tom's game. But I think that trade worked out for both coaches.
Yeah, it's kind of really fun for this next matchup, which actually happens to be Tom, which is Tom Z and his Sanoshi Sharpedos versus the Melbourne Rotoms and Aaron Cybertron Zhang. This is another of the games that matter.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what a weird game this looks like.
Man, I don't even know, to be completely honest with you. I'm gonna pick Tom again, like I have all season. And in this game, not necessarily a bad idea.
No, Ho-Oh does a lot of work this game.
Ho-Oh does a lot of work, which is what we wanted to talk about between that trade between Lars and Tom. I know Tom is really, really happy with how Ho-Oh is doing on his team. compared to the Mega Lucario. And I know you guys are talking Ho-Oh's not a good mon. It's a good mon. It really is.
It's a great mon. And I think Tom's team supports it better than Lars's team did.
No, MV had it. MV dropped it. Yeah, MV dropped it for Lugia, and then Lars dropped whatever his Uber Deoxys. Picked it up and traded it to Tom.
Attack, because it dies to it for a quick attack. Dropped it for Ho-Oh, and immediately shipped it over to Tom. And Tom is really liking it, and like I said, it does work this game. One of my favorite things about it is Kartana can't do anything to it.
Kartana can't touch it.
And Kartana does a lot to the rest of the team.
Yeah, but I remember Kartana drops to an HP poison.
HP poison dead. Yup, love it.
So, but yeah, I do like Tom's matchup in this game. If Tom can, if things can go a little bit for Tom, like a little bit of rolls or something for Tom, then where he doesn't get flustered. I think Tom can win this game.
I think webs come this game from Araquanid to help stop the Mega Lopunny from being faster, because otherwise it's a really big hindrance to Ho with like something like Rock Slide or Stone Edge. Mamoswine also is kind of annoying, so the webs can be really, really nice. So that's why I see something like that. However, something Tom does need to be careful of is make sure if he does bring Gliscor, it's HP it's Ice Resist Berry. Because Z Circuitry does a lot of work this game if Latios gets chunked down. Because it just runs through this team.
Also, I really hope I don't see a Wobbuffet on my screen.
It wouldn't surprise me. Cybertron's been using that mon very well.
I know, and it's upsetting because now that he's used it so well, it's going to start getting drafted in other leagues that we're in.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
I hope not.
You know what else is fun? This next matchup, the Kansas City Jirachis versus the Los Angeles Nido Kings. This is the last of the 4 games that do quote-unquote matter for playoff, like who's getting in, which is Mama Jolt and the Kansas City Jirachis versus Danza and his Los Angeles Nido Kings. Now, a battle for the TTM crew here in the GBA. We haven't seen this in a little bit.
No.
If I'm not mistaken, they were the 2 last picks in the draft. Yes, they were.
Yes, they were. They were actually the last 2 picks. So, all I'm going to say is that this is another... I'm friends with a lot of these coaches, and this is another one of those where I really, really, really want to pick Danza, but I just can't with a Groudon staring at me in the face.
Yeah, Groudon does a lot of work.
Cannot, and good conscious, pick Danza. Groudon's just so good.
And now the comments might say, hey, Danza has a Palkia, why are you picking Groudon? Just gotta remember, Jolt could easily bring an Assault Vest Magearna, or a Spadef Mew, or I don't know, a Breloom to stop it, or Meloetta. He has a lot of answers to Palkia, and Genesect is not very great this game.
No.
In my
Genesect
opinion,
should
it has
not
to get at least 2
come
shift gears up.
to this game.
No.
At all.
Something that does do a lot of work, though, on Danza's side is actually Tapu Bulu. Bulu does a decent amount of work here, especially if it's a Scarf set. I think Scarf has a very big merit this game with something like Knockoff from Mew. Its Wood Hammer hits very, very hard on the Manaphy, Mega Aerodactyl. If it's not Sap Zipper Goodra, which it probably will be, but it also hits Meloetta pretty hard, and it nukes the Groudon. So that's something to be very careful of. I can also see Hawlucha coming just by merit from that.
Yeah. Every time I look at Jolt's team, I just love that there are 3 forms of weather on his team. I just love it. But yeah, I have to go with Jolt in this game. Just sheer off Groudon.
Yeah, Groudon does a lot of work. I also see Spadef Goodra on Jolt's side doing work as well. Just because Spadef Goodra stops Gengar, it stops Special Como, which has some merit this game. It stops Mega Alakazam if it lives Dazzling Memes, which it probably does.
Let's not forget, though, Danza has a secret weapon.
Yes, he does have his Egg Timer.
He does have his Egg Timer.
That actually is something to discuss.
That boy's gonna start the game, and he's gonna go cook his dinner, his 3-course meal.
Yeah, he's got his Bob Ross oven mitts. He's got his Utah Jazz waffle maker. He's got a sit. Egg Timer goes on 75 seconds. Let's click and move quick.
Yep.
And back to making my waffles.
Yep, that's That's Danza.
Like, I get
so
that it may not be funny to some of those that joke about, but it's legitimately a strategy for Danza, and it works. Danza timer stalling opponents can irritate them, but it's a big psychological game for him too. And Danza's winning games with it, so I can't knock it because he's
really
doing
can't
well.
either.
I don't like it, but he's winning.
We're good pals with Danza, though. He knows we're joking. Don't be mean to us, please.
We love you, Danza.
All right.
We know the coaches watch these.
Yeah, totally. They totally watch these.
I know. At least 4 of them do. Speaking of which, one of them actually is one of our next games: Montreal Half Souls versus the Victorian Shadows. What a weird game this is.
I'm not sure how I want to go about doing this. I picked Astr because Mega Mawile is kind of a threat.
Yeah, it does a lot of work.
But every time I see a Xerneas, I always get really scared. Like, even if I know that it's not Geomancy, I still get really scared. Because the freaking Xerneas.
You gotta fear the deer, especially since it does a lot of work this game.
It kind of, I don't want to say a lot of work, because Astr's got Mega Mawile, Astr's got Nidoqueen, he's got Reuniclus, Cobalion, and Registeel.
I don't think Registeel comes this game. Just because he could easily bring Mienshao.
Yeah.
Megazord X, Hydreigon, and Landorus Therian. 4 mons that can deal with Registeel, also deals with Cobalion, and can deal with Reuniclus with Hydreigon.
Yeah.
So the big thing that he has to keep healthy, I think, is actually a Spadef Tornadus Therian. Like an AV Torn-T.
That could be a thing.
Does a lot of work because it can help stop the Hydreigon. Also can help keep rid of the Xerneas because it has the Regenerator ability, keeping it healthy throughout the game.
Just remember that Xerneas does get Thunder and Thunderbolt.
It's not hitting Thunder first.
Okay.
And second, it's chunking in Assault Vest Torn.
It's going to be a good chunk.
It's going to be chunked, but remember, Regenerator switches in, U-turns out, gets more health. So it's easily one of those Pokemon that can double in, take a small amount of damage, and pop out.
Yeah, it's really an annoying Pokemon. I am going to pick Astr on the sheer fact that he just got so many Pokemon that can just stop the Xerneas. Plus Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile is just such a good Pokemon. Now, Necro does have, like you said, the Mienshao and the Megazord X. I think I'm going to go with Astr in this game.
Yeah, and my reasoning for going with Astr is actually the Sand Core, because Tyranitar does a lot of work, and Stoutland can do a metric ton of work, because if Landorus Therian goes down, you could see that banded good boy doing some work, because he doesn't have a lot of good resist to normal types. Landorus Therian with no Intimidate just kind of drops to band. Hydreigon drops. Megazord X drops.
That is
a lot of his team does not appreciate a Stoutland along with Tyranitar looking it down.
No, it is a goodest boy.
It is a goodest boy. But yeah, I'm picking Astr because the sand does a lot of work, along with Mega Mawile being Mega Mawile. Oh yeah, and there's a Lunala there that we didn't even talk about.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the Lunala. Yeah, I'm definitely going with Astr in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to pick him. Going into, I believe, our last game of the week, last game of the regular season to discuss. The Pittsburgh Pichus versus the Houston Team Rockets.
We got Nexus versus Randy.
And first things first, I completely think Randy takes this game. I don't see anything in Nexus's ability to stop a Suicune if Mega Venusaur goes down.
Bloom Doom Mimikyu probably has something to say about that.
That's one turn, breaks its sub.
I mean, all I'm saying is if the Suicune sub is broken, it doesn't have a sub up, that Bloom Doom's gonna hurt.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
So,
but it's like one of his very few answers to stop the Suicune, and it can set up a lot of his team.
Physical Mega Venusaur? People sleep on Physical Mega Venusaur for some reason? Okay, you're not gonna sit there and tell me that that's not a thing.
It is a set, but it's not a good set.
It's a way to not get walled by Calm Mind Suicune.
Then you also lose to stuff like Metagross. Metagross stops you, plain and simple then. Assault Vest Metagross. Why does Assault Vest Metagross such good?
Such good, much wow.
Yeah, good boy.
I mean,
or girl, whatever.
We're sitting here talking about these two Stolly Pokemon when Yveltal is sitting right at the very top there.
Yeah, along with something like Infernape, those two paired together on this team against Nexus can do a lot of work.
Yes.
I also see the Zygood boy, the Zypupper,
Zydog.
the good boy,
the battle of the
Zydog doing a lot of work. I also see like a offensive Roserade doing quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I mean I'm picking Randy this week because I just like Yveltal and I like the fact that Zydog is there because I like Zydog better than I like Zygarde 100.
Yeah, it's gonna be dog versus master this game. But my biggest reason for picking Randy this week is just because Randy's been playing so solidly. Yep. Nexus has not been playing very well at all. No. And so I think Randy can just kind of roll through this game, even if the matchup may be a 50-50. I think Randy does have the matchup as well to boost him, so I think Randy takes this game regardless.
I think Randy takes this game. I think he must end the regular season on a W.
Absolutely. Plus, I believe he can clinch a higher seed if he wins.
I think so. He's already clinched it.
Could be something to watch out for.
He's already clinched his division, so I don't know if he can get much higher than that.
Oh yeah, he can. I don't know. We'll see.
Because Jolt
we'll see next week.
We'll see
in the
next week
of Pick'ems.
So,
with that, we are going to get on here today, guys. Austin, do you have any last words?
Nope. We do hope you guys did enjoy the regular season, and we'll see you guys in the playoffs.
Absolutely. If you guys want to join the fan Pick'ems, be sure to join the fan Discord link down below and join in. Get signed up for your favorite coach. You can get notified because YouTube sub boxes are perfect. Get notified whenever their videos go live. And if any of you guys are GBA type people as well, you guys can get notified whenever any GBA content video goes live as well. Yes. With that, we're going to get on out of here today, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And peace out, Scouts.
Bye, guys.